than it is now, even though it's already hilarious how rich the 1% is. And yeah, I see it kind of as my goal to just explain the world in an easy manner, how important it is to understand what money is, how money works, and what influence blockchain and Bitcoin will have on the monetary and financial systems over the next 10 years. That's my thing.
Okay. Right.
Interesting. Okay, that's
Um,
cool. That's cool.
and I think that
And
you'll do that greatly, bro. Because like whenever I talk to you about the blockchain and Bitcoin, bro, I like your level of passion for this, man, is like it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Even if it's something that I don't understand, I just listen because I can feel your passion for it, bro. And
The thing
that's
is,
gold.
I'm just
Really, really.
focused on it because I think that besides the internet, over the past 20 years, there probably wasn't anything that will have such a big impact on the world as the blockchain technology. So
Yeah.
I'm all in because it just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I was also, I mean, I still am, but like I think about a year, about 2 years ago, I was more involved in the blockchain crypto space. Like I started doing a lot of reading when like there was a guest lecture that I had at the time I was doing my final year, and he like at the time I think Ethereum was like $10 if I'm not mistaken, right? And this guy he was telling me about how he bought it at like $1, right? And
Crazy.
in less than like 6 months, I think went to like $10, right? I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, this is interesting. And he was looking for a developer to work at his company. And at the salary that he was paying was like very attractive to me, you know. So I was like,
Are
okay, cool. Let me just start speaking with
you
this guy, whatever. Say that again.
are you a software developer? Like, can you code?
Yeah, I'm a developer. I'm a developer. That's what I do, like full time. Then, yeah, I got very involved in the space. I started speaking to him and whatever, but at the end, I didn't really have the skills he was looking for. But then I was like, okay, cool. Let me actually try and understand what this all is, right? And
Yeah,
just like you said, like, even to me, that like I'm involved in, like, I've been writing code for over 8 years, right? Uh, and even to me it was hard to understand first how blockchain works, then how like value is created right in the market, and like understand how all these like cryptocurrencies were being valued at so much, right? Like it's
yeah,
difficult to explain to someone like how that value is created, right?
100%.
Where is it coming from? It's
You
very
know,
difficult,
it's
right?
weird because it's an open source code. How do you put value on an open source code, right? So,
Ex- yeah, exactly. So you know, it took me a very long time. Like I did like two courses on it. Then I started investing a little bit, and then I started going into like just to give you some background. There's this at the time that I started, there was like this thing called ICOs, right? So I mean, if anyone doesn't know, ICOs is like an IPO, right? But for a coin, right? And there's no real regulation around that. Like there is, they have some sort of in some countries where they have like very strict laws, like the US, for example. They usually don't. They wouldn't allow U.S. citizens to like participate in these offerings. But like, if you are anywhere else in the world, like in most countries, you'd be able to just buy these things, right? So you could literally like buy, like let's say you could invest. I have a friend, for example, right? Just to give like actual examples. He participated in an ICO, right? That like he put in, I think this coin was called Monaco, right? At the time. Now they changed.
not
He put in like said yeah, crypto.com now, right? And he put in like 40,000 rand, right? And at the time that he did that, I was like, this guy is crazy because I told him about crypto, right? And he just
nuts.
like yeah, I just went nuts. It was like, yo, all these people are making so much money. And at the time, Bitcoin was also going crazy. Like, I think at the time, Bitcoin was at about $1,000, right? And that's when I started investing. But then all of a sudden, it went to like $5,000, and then like 10,000, and then I mean, after a very long time, I think it was about a year and a half, if I'm not mistaken, got to like 20K, and then that's when the market crashed. But anyway,
Exactly.
so this specific ICO, right? this guy invested 40,000 rand, which is about, I would say, close to, I think at the time, $4,000, right? And
Right.
I'm like, shit, okay, cool. So I think in about 6 months, his investment went from 40,000 rand, right, to 800,000 rand. This
Damn,
is
my God.
this bro. This is me because he told me, yo, you should also invest. I'm like, nah, like I did my due diligence. I'm like
Those are all scams.
the team was sketchy. Everything they had was sketchy.
Yeah,
Like the CEO was like, I mean, I just didn't like his face, man. It was weird the way he talked, and then like there's no background to these people. The videos
Yeah.
they had, it looked like they hired actors, like everything was just super sketchy about them. And I told him, I'm like, yo, don't invest in this thing. It doesn't seem legit. It's like, nah, don't worry. And at the time, I think just to like show you like how crazy these guys were, like they were saying that they had a partnership with Visa and whatever, they were gonna be releasing these cards. I'm like, yo, this thing is like it's pure, like it's a scam, you know.
yeah.
But he invested on this. He put that like he made what's that? It's probably like 20x, right? In about like 6 months. That's when I was like, shit, like we're onto something here, right? So, but I mean, then we started investing and whatever, made some money, lost some money. But like you said, besides the whole crash that happened, and besides all these people that made money, that scam people, there's actually products that have a lot of value already, right? But at like right now, they actually having like an organic growth, right?
Exactly.
Like,
The
and
first
and
time
and and
the hype, and now the user adoption and the real use the how do you call it, like the real use cases are emerging, and now the proper adoption is coming, and that's why the price is rising slowly, but better than just having like a fast cycle, which is just gonna end like in a blow off top, like we've seen in 2017. So I
exactly.
there's going to be like a huge macro bull market over the next 4 to 10 years in crypto because now people do understand and the scams have kind of washed out. So now think and fucking
Definitely, definitely. I agree with you. And it was needed, it was
100%,
needed.
100%,
Uh,
man.
yeah, also to like just remove everyone that is not really in the market for like all the investors that are just there to just like, I don't know, make
Exactly,
quick,
you need to
quick
trust trust.
bucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and on top of that, this is exactly what happened when like on the dot-com boom, right? Where on that
One more
crash, where
thing, a new technology, we don't really know what to do with it. The only thing we knew that there are buzzwords, it's going to change the world. Dot-com bubble in 2000 was exactly the same thing than crypto in 2017. 1-1.
yeah, yeah. Exactly the same thing. And the ones that survived, they made a lot of money. You have guys like Amazon now, for example. You have Google, they were there.
Like the big winners of crypto are going to be huge, huge, huge.
Yeah,
But there will only
yeah,
be a few. So it's like all the five companies that kind of survived the combo and bust.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, my point was that I agree with you completely.
All right. And I'm curious, bro. I'm curious because before how I got into this whole trading shit, first Hugo told me like, yo, bro, I'm doing this forex thing. Let's do this forex thing. And then I went to Barcelona and I met Scott, and he was like, yo, man, I'm doing this crypto thing, and I think that you can catch up with it and you can do something with it. It's really interesting. And my question was always like, yo, what's the difference between forex and crypto, and like how your personality influences whether you prefer forex or crypto? Like how do you decide which way to go? I'm curious about that.
Was the question directed to me?
To all of
All
y'all,
of it.
man,
Okay.
whatever, all of you, just chime in.
I mean, I guess preference thing, no? I mean, at the end of the day, Hugo, for example, he says he's mostly relying on technical analysis. If he does it right, obviously he can trade every single market, right? I mean, technical analysis, at the end of the day, you shouldn't be biased whatsoever about what the fundamentals of the market are. So if I give Hugo a chart of Bitcoin, he can trade it the same as he trades Forex, or am I wrong?
Not really, not really.
Okay.
Like, okay, I like to trade forex because most pairs have like a long history. Like the market like repeats itself, so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
certain patterns are created. But crypto is like day trading crypto against the dollar. It's a bit random for me, at least. Like I don't
No,
see that it respects structure as much as forex trade. That's why I don't trade crypto.
no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I think
it's also a very small market. You know,
100%
it's very
liquidity.
volatile.
Exactly, the liquidity is not there.
Super.
So a guy with 50 million US dollars can really push markets. So it can really gets you like. That's why I back in the days at one point I was like, dude, I fucking hate stop losses because the market makers all they do are
Yeah,
fucking hunting stop losses 24/7.
exactly.
So, but
You know why, Scott? Because of the
tell me,
education that new forex traders get, it's for you to become victim of the market makers. They know human psychology. They know there's gonna be a kid that's going
they know exactly where your stops are and they can hunt them down every single time to get the liquidity that they need because the market is still super small.
exactly. That's the beauty of technical analysis because you get to see these levels, you get to see weeks, and you see, okay, what are the liquidity here? So
100%.
you start thinking like a big bank and like institutions. You get me?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. And that's exactly what you told me. Like you were doing forex, and I was like, I'm dabbling into crypto. Okay. Scott, you day trade crypto too, right? You day trade.
Well, I mean, I used to, and the thing is, like, crypto is 24/7, right? There's no weekend, there's no nothing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been many, many long nights. But yeah, as I said before, I kind of stopped for now. I do kind of key trades and mostly
Yeah.
value investing and try to avoid the scams. Huh?
Yeah. You man.
And that's not easy in crypto.
I feel you. That's good, bro. That's good, man. But yeah, guys.
Shelton,
Um.
Shelton,
What? What?
um,
What?
what stopped you from really diving into trading crypto?
Um, with crypto and forex, it's the same thing. It's like I don't think I function well with having to predict. I know it's not really predict because you're doing your analysis, but at a certain level, it's still like you're doing something in hopes that something happens. And
Yeah,
that's me doing that and waiting for it. Like it creates a lot of anxiety, and I start
yeah,
overthinking. I prefer things that are more real time. I do something, it's done, then I put it out and whatnot. This whole
Yeah,
like doing something and waiting to see the results, it doesn't work for me, bro. That's why I
you
was
know,
like, yeah, I
you
can
know
do that.
what? Like, like I would say, like Shelton, you're a very smart guy, right?
super.
You actually have a reputation, all right? Like you already have a legacy, right? But I think that the problem with like trading, it's, I mean, trading and investing, right? It's like
Yeah,
it requires a lot of like emotional intelligence.
Mhm,
yeah,
It requires a whole lot of emotional
bro.
intelligence. Like it requires a whole lot. So
yeah.
what you're saying is like actually it's something that you have to work on once you're in the market. You know what I mean? Like once you just have to like learn how to deal with your anxiety or deal with your impatience or deal with trying to just not make decisions based on like sentiment or market sentiment or your own emotions, but make decisions based on like actual facts and like logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if your emotions are telling you to do something else, you have to like take a step back and really try and understand what is making you make that decision. You know what I mean? If it's really
Yeah,
just your head or if it's logical like patterns that you picked up and that now you're using to make that decision. So I
So
think, for
true.
okay.
example, for me, right, it was that like there was a lot of I made a lot of bad decisions and I've suffered a lot from um there were days that I would wake up, like I told you, I invested in some ICOs. There were
Yeah,
days where I would just wake up and like this token that I bought is just like, 5x, right? And like, dude, I don't know. There's no way I can explain you that. But the feeling you feel like you can conquer the world. You feel
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
made it. You feel like you're the smartest guy in the room. You feel like, yo, like, yeah. But that is BS because that was just luck. right? I did all my analysis and whatever, but that was luck. Like, there's no real value in that token or in that company. And there's no logic to why that happened. Maybe it's some group on like these communities on Telegram. Maybe it's just some group that they decided to pump that coin, and then
John,
you know, and then yeah, the pump and dump schemes, all those things. Like, and I'm just in there and I'm thinking that I'm the smartest. I'm the guy that, figured it out. But then there were days that I would just like lose a lot. You know what I mean? And I would just get like sad, like fucking, like depressed and
Yeah.
stuff. Because I'm like, yo, I just lost a whole lot of money that,
yeah, but
it
it's
doesn't even feel real.
yeah. It's just numbers on the screen, right? That's the thing. Like,
Exactly, just numbers on the screen. It doesn't feel real. But like when I tell someone, for example, like sometimes I used to talk about this with like my girl, right? And I'll tell like, yo, babe, today I lost X amount. She'd be like, what?
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, like what? And then she starts saying all these things to me, and I'm just like, yo, like I didn't even know, whatever. I'm trying to explain, and you're embarrassed, and you feel stupid, and it's like it's a whole level of, like a whole spectrum of emotions that you feel, but
Yeah.
it's good for you to feel those things because if you are really someone that reflects on your mistakes and tries to learn from them, it will make you stronger. You know what I mean? And it's good for me, for example, it's good that I went through that whole crypto phase because I really learned, like, I learned a lot about myself and about markets. You know what I mean? I learned a lot about, like, really trying to understand how these companies make money, how people are being scammed, how
Yeah,
markets work, how, like, what to look at when making an investment, like, how to deal with my emotions, how to not just follow markets. Like, it made me, like, I grew a lot because of that. You know what I mean? So I would say the same thing with you. It's like,
uh, I don't think there's
Yeah.
a market who was that fast as crypto in 2017. So whenever someone is like, "Yeah, but dude, you're only 22, like you haven't seen shit," bro. I've been 5 years, 5 years in crypto. I've seen so many fucking market cycles, so much
Yeah.
really insane. So 2 years
yeah,
of crypto equals like 10 years of traditional investing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, Shelton, I would say just, jump,
Just jumping.
jump, man.
Oh no,
Just
because
jump, man.
here's my second question. For the three of you, because you both the three of you have dabbled into this. For me, it's like, at what point does this get boring, bro? Especially to you, Uber, because you're currently day trading. At what point does it get boring, bro? That like you're like, oh, so this is what I do, and then it's just this, and just like looking at the charts. At what point does it get boring, and how do you like, you know, make it more stimulating? I would say, man.
The thing is, like, for me, the big turning point was when I got bored of it. Like, when I got tired of just sitting and waiting for the market to do something for me to make a profit. Then I was
Yeah.
like in the beginning when I got into it, I took it like a kid, like a joke. Like, oh fuck, I just like deposit $500, and by the end of the week I make like another $500. Like it was so exciting, like emotional. But that was bad, man. Like now, like I look at it from a cold perspective. Now I look at it in terms of percentage growth of my capital. That's all. Like that's all I see now, and that's good. Like I don't want to be excited about forex because this market, bro,
business
as
as usual.
exactly.
Yeah.
That was the big turning point. That was the turning point for me.
Okay.
But if when you're excited, the first thing is you're always excited. Like you can't wait to tell your friends that you're just making profit from pushing a button on your phone. That's when the market kills you.
Where are you?
Sorry?
Yeah.
No, I said that's when the market will humble you.
Exactly.
When everything
Exactly.
to your friends how easy it is, you're about to get fucked.
Exactly. But I mean, like that's the learning curve, man. Like the markets, bro. Yeah, you go through a very, very, very steep learning curve, and it never stops.
Yeah,
No,
Mm.
You know?
true.
I agree.
And
And
like,
I
like
agree.
um
yeah,
I was gonna ask, uh is this something that you guys would recommend, like you dedicate full time only to trading, or do you think that this is something that you have on the side and you have something else going on, or would you guys be like, because a lot of shit that I see online, and some of my friends, they aim is to do trading full time and that be the only thing they do, And I'm like, I don't know if that's what you really want to do. What you guys think?
Shelton,
Mm.
if you want to be good at trading, you have to
Yeah,
do it in the beginning like you want to do it full time. If you go into it,
yeah,
I'm just gonna do this on the side, make like a side income, then it's gonna treat like you're gonna treat it like a hobby. You get me? But
yeah.
go into it like full fledged, like yo, I want to do this full time. Like this is gonna be my calling. Then you're gonna work like crazy, and then like in the end, bro, like you're gonna be able to have a nice side income and be able to do other things. But if you go into the perspective of just making like a side income, you're gonna treat it the same way, and then you're gonna fail. You have to give it your
Mm,
like this business. You have to give it your all. Like at least your mental capacity. You have to give it 100%.
mm.
You
Yeah.
should.
Indeed.
This business requires a lot of capital, so you should have a job. Like you shouldn't go into it like asking like your
Yeah,
parents for
yeah.
all these.
That's probably the biggest mistake that most people do. They think that from day on I can make consistent money with trading. That's just the biggest fucking mistake that you can make because it's just not the case. Right? Some things it doesn't matter how good your technical analysis or whatever is. As we said, emotional intelligence is the big, big, big key. And you cannot just from one day to the other wake up and be like, okay, now I can. My stomach is chill. I don't care if I'm down. I don't care if this and this happens. Some things when it comes to trading, it takes time, right? So the earlier you start and the more familiar you get with the ups and downs, while working super super hard on all the technical stuff, that's how
Yeah.
you become good.
Um, but always
Yeah,
a stable income. Like get a job. I mean, like set up like side business. You need to have money like flowing. You can't go
yeah. Mm.
into it with a hundred
Or
Cash
dollars
flow.
expect
in
to make big
trades.
Cash
returns
flow,
on that.
baby. How'd you balance
Sorry.
that though? How'd you balance having a job? How'd you balance having a job and doing the trading or whatever other side hustle, whether it's trading or you're doing something else, uh, online drop shipping, whatever the fuck it is that you're doing, man? How'd you balance having that 9 to 5 job to keep the cash flow coming in and also doing the other thing? How'd you balance that?
Um, to be honest, like, hey, wake up early, bro. Like I have to wake up early.
Wake up early.
Now for real, like you have to like for me, for example, like I trade the London session, so I have to wake up like really early and kind of like set my mind, like set my levels. Like okay, at this time I'm gonna enter the market and look at this price. It kind of like helps me map my day, so I'm not just reacting to trade and work. And also, my job helps me because I work in finance, so most of the day, like for 8 hours, I'm in front of a computer and like I'm by myself, so I can trade. So that
Yeah,
really helps me. And when work gets tough, then I switch my style of trading to like longer time frames. I can execute a trade now and close it in 4 days. So that helps me like focus more on my job and not on my trades. I just balance them out, and I managed to balance them both pretty good. But it took some time, and
yeah, yeah.
not many people are able to like balance a full-time job and trading, but I'm blessed because I work an office job. Like I'm not out and stuff, so I'm pretty much indoors the whole time, and it gives me flexibility. But for example, like a doctor or a nurse, like I'm sure they won't be able to trade at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be trading in the first place.
But
Question
now,
that
Hugo, how much time do you put into trading, like daily?
Hey, a lot, bro. Three hours minimum per day that I put into trading.
Every single day.
Yeah, most of the days.
And
My
on those three,
weekends I consume my trading, and during the week, 2 hours from Monday to Friday.
okay. And during that time, like, what are you doing?
I'm back testing. I'm journaling my trades. I'm making notes on why I made certain mistakes, why I managed to make profit. I'm just like jotting
Mm,
down my thoughts, like what I'm feeling right now. Um, I'm not doing as many courses before because like I found a style that suits me and I adjust it to my character. So I just keep perfecting on that.
okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's basically it. Yeah. I could dedicate less time to trading if I wanted to, but that would just like slow me down a bit.
Mm.
can't do that. Like,
Okay, now I get you.
yeah,
Okay, cool, cool. And I don't know if you're comfortable talking about numbers, right? But just percentage wise, right?
yeah,
Like, let's say, let's talk about a year, right?
yeah. hmm
Like from the capital you put in, like what are your gains
I
percentage wise?
I try to stay above 10% of my capital per month, but now it's because I trade bigger accounts.
Okay.
But when I started up till the middle of 2019, it's like I was trading small accounts and trying to flip them weekly, like $500, trying to flip that, 1,000, trying to flip that. It was good on some months, and some months I just ended up blowing accounts. But now it's like I try to like trade with a bigger account and make small gains on that.
Mm,
So it's
okay.
safe to say that I grow at least 10% per month.
Bro,
Okay.
that's good, bro. That's amazing.
Very. Okay.
Okay. What about you, Mark? Because Ugo has his job and he's doing his forest on the side. Scotty is doing is pushing his crypto education field and all that. Marcelo, do you have anything on the side that you're thinking of doing or that has been piquing your interest or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. So at the moment I have two projects. I actually have three, but one is like um is stuck, right? Because of some regulations here in South Africa. But the ones I'm currently busy with on the side, okay, first I'll talk about my job, right? So I'm a software developer. I work at a consulting company here in Cape Town, and we basically like take projects. Some we do like clients come to us and they say, listen, we want to increase our sales by X amount. And we see that, companies overseas or our competitors are doing X, Y, Z, right? So we take that, we do a full market analysis on like a solution that could help them. If they want, they can take that analysis and build the product themselves, or they can take some guys from us, from our company, and build a solution for them, right? So basically what I now uh, on the sides, the main project I'm busy with is a recruitment company, right? That so basically I'm trying to solve two issues, right? The first issue is for companies that are hiring, right? Right now in the market, it's very hard for you to know if the person you're hiring, developers specifically, really have the skills they say they have, right?
Uh,
So
Ah, ah,
that
smart,
that
smart.
that market is very, I mean, there's a big problem with the development market because there is a lot of demand, a lot. Like there's no industry that has more available jobs than tech, right? But now there's no supply, there's no talent, right? But everyone says they have talent.
So you get
So
rid of
now, say that again.
so you get rid of the fakers and you make them prove their skills before you hire them.
Exactly. It's something like that, right? So let me explain. So for the companies, right? I want to save them the effort of having to like, for example, interview 10 guys for one position, right? Which is very lengthy because let's say, for example, interview with a company like, let me say Google, right? You Google, Facebook, whatever, you go for like 6 rounds of interviews, right? And here, for example, in SA, we have companies that also do that, like Amazon. There's one called Take a Lot, also very big company. Like they do these processes, right? And smaller companies also try to mimic that, right? So now let's say you want to hire, you have one position available, and you have like 10, 20 guys applying for that. You have to go through that whole process that can take you up to a month just to like hire one person. That is money that is being lost because you're involving your senior people on that process, right? um, you're wasting everyone's time, like as well as the applicant, right? Um, you if okay, let me not get there yet. You're wasting everyone's time, so the business is losing money. Sometimes you hire someone that doesn't actually have the skills, some of the other skills they said they had, because you won't be able to test everything that that candidate says they have, right? Um, so that's the first problem I'm trying to solve right now. Because for me, like right now, I'm been trying to hire people. What happens is when I hire someone, sometimes that guy doesn't have one of the skills they say they had. Like they would say, "Ah, I'm good with React," for example. Right? React is it's a technology that is used to like create web applications right now. So they'll say, "I'm good with this," and in reality, they just like did a course on Udemy and then like built like a very small app, and now they say they're proficient with React. They've been using React for a year, for example, right? That's like then I'll give this guy a project, and it will take a lot of time to deliver, and I have to like take him like go through the project with him and whatever, right? So it's a waste of time, and that thing happens to almost everyone in the industry, almost every company, right? So what I'm trying to do is say, okay, fine, I'm gonna remove that process from you. Sorry, guys, if I'm speaking a lot. I'm gonna remove that process from you. All you have to do is do the cultural fit interview, right? Everything that is related to tech, I will do it for you, right? So I'll put in place a platform that I'll be able to test everything that this guy says that he's proficient at, right? And all you have to
Okay.
do is come to me and say, okay, I want to talk to this guy. I say, cool. You don't test him or her. All you do is the cultural fit. See if your values
Yeah.
are, if you are with a team that some guys prefer teams that are younger, some guys prefer teams that are more like fast paced, some guys really like work life balance, whatever. So you then deal with that, right? And that's the first problem I'm trying to solve. The second problem for the developers is if you really like if you really into getting the best offer possible in the market, right? You'd have to interview, let's say, with like 10 companies, for example, right? And each single company has their own interview process, right? So you go to Snapchat, they have their interview process, right? Which is like 5, 6 interviews. Facebook, same. Google, same. Amazon, same. Now imagine if you are one guy that has to go through all those interviews. It's draining. You have to take leave, or I don't know, like you have to start slacking at your job because you have to like try first, you have to prepare to these interviews, then you have to do them consistently, right? So it's really draining for you. So to the developers, what I'm offering is, listen, you just do one interview, not one interview, you just do one set of interviews, right? Let's say like 6 interviews, and you'll be eligible to be hired by all these companies. All they'll do is come to you. So now you don't have to waste time trying to like do, let's say if you're applying to 10 companies and each company has 5 interviews, you don't have to do 50 interviews. All you have to do is 5 with me, and you'll be eligible to apply to all these companies here. All you have
Yeah.
cultural fit interview. So I'm trying to fix those two issues because I've been on the side of a developer trying to look for work, which I had to like prepare and then go to a whole lot of interviews to then at the end try and negotiate my salary and whatever. It's very draining. It's a waste of time in my opinion. And I've also been in the side of hiring, right? Where like I have to interview all these candidates and then shit happens. So that's one of the projects I have, right? And the other is
Yeah.
just talking to Hugo about, which is a clothing brand for it's actually with my fiance, right? So she
Mm.
has this community of women that empower each other and whatever. So he's just trying to understand like how we can monetize that, right? So it's cool, but we also want to like see how we can, you know, make some money out of it, create some value
Mm.
for us and also for the people that are in the community. So like give them good products, maybe cheaper or maybe same price but higher quality. So we're just trying to understand that, and that's a project that is still very in the like stages. But yeah, that's about it.
Yo, man. Yo, man. I'm curious to know on the first project that you're talking about, the recruitment and all that. How like at what phase are you? Are you still in the research phase, or how
Yeah.
far into it are
So
you?
yeah, so I've done research already. So I spoke with about close to 10 like hiring managers, right? Hiring managers and CTOs. right?
Yeah.
Where basically I just try to understand how much they will be willing to pay, right? And if that's something they would pay for, right? And what are the like the drawbacks on that solution, right? So one of the things they all say is like, okay, cool. What if you test a guy and we hire him, but he doesn't perform, right? That is the main thing actually, the main problem they all said. But that's something that I already have a plan. So like, I want to like have insurance on those guys, right? So be able to like have some sort of like policy, right? That will cover that I'll pay every month, and it will cover if anyone is hired by a company and that they don't perform during the probation period or whatever, like the company doesn't need to pay their salary, and this policy kicks in and pays that salary that would have to be paid. You know what I mean? I'm trying to like find something that I can work with, but I already have like you know developers. I have about 5 developers that are already like into like going through the process, right? But these are most for my network. These were not leads that I got from ads or anything. It's just my network. And I have people willing to try, right? So right now, all I have to do is I'm in the process of like creating the tests, right? So being able to like come up with like a very um, solid process where I evaluate the guys, and then I'll just put them on the market and start reaching out to the companies that are hiring and see how it works.
They'll be all online or in person too, or you all
All
online.
everything online, no platform. Like, cause I was very in the beginning, I was very like, cause I'm a dev, and with developers, like, there's a thing where when you're a developer, you just want to build stuff, right? Um, and a lot of times you waste most developers waste time building tech that will never be used, right? Or it's tech that doesn't need to be used, has no value, right? You just want to build. So what I want to do is try and like run this business with no tech. And when I mean no tech is I'm not going to build anything, right? All I'm going to do is create processes that makes it easier for me to handle all that, right? So create processes on, how I get my leads, how I get the developers, right? Create processes to how I get the hiring managers, create processes into like how I onboard these hiring managers, how I onboard these developers and whatever, right? So in the beginning, it will all be manual. And if I start getting traction, then maybe I can have like a platform where developers can go register themselves and do the tests on their own. But my whole thing is the tests. I want the tests to be like a test that you would do at a top tech company like Google. There's no automated tests. There's no such thing of you doing a test and there's like an automated marker that just goes through your code and checks. No, like every single test you do at Google, at least I know it's like not in person, but it's live. Like they, for example, give you like a coding challenge, right? They open a Google Doc and they see you writing the code because they want to make sure that it was you that did that. And they want to know your thought process. So as you're writing the code, you need to say why you made those decisions. You know what I mean? There's nothing that just happens. So that's
Okay.
one of the value that I want to like give to this guy. Say, actually, all these guys were handpicked. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way you can cheat the system. So yeah,
Alright. Hey, dope, man. Dope stuff, man. I'm excited for that. That's on dope. And needed. And very needed.
Very good.
let's see.
But,
Marcelo,
Kat, how?
Marcelo, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, go on.
Marcelo, I want to ask you, since you're trying to get like in the recruitment industry, do you think there's a lot of talent in Mozambique when it comes to like developers and stuff? Like, do you think there's a lot of potential to like maybe get them jobs abroad?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
think
that's one of the things I have in mind actually. You're
really?
touching a good point. 'Cause, yeah, there's a lot of talent in Mozambique, but the problem is like there's no structure, right?
Yeah,
You have people that are great thinkers,
yeah,
people that like can have immense talent, have potential, but
yeah,
they don't have anyone to like push for them. You know what I mean? They don't have anyone that will make them grow. They don't know. what it looks like to work at a top tier tech company. They don't
Yeah,
understand what it takes to build like enterprise software. They don't understand none of that, right? So they just get lost in like building little apps and like, you know, and then no one uses them and then they get demoralized and they go work at a bank or something. So
yeah,
like there is potential, but I mean, first, what I'm trying to do is like create a business that makes cash. Like I
yeah.
want to be able to, if I, for example, if I'm able to like place 5 developers a month, for example, just to give
Mhm.
you an understanding. So like
Yeah,
what recruitment companies do, they like for each guy they they get hired, they get
yeah.
like 20 from anything from like 10 to 20% of the yearly salary,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say on average, a developer here in South Africa will get like 50,000 rand, right? Let's say
Yeah,
about 5,000 US dollars, right? I
yeah.
mean, back in the day, now I think it's like 3,000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have like 5 guys being placed, that's about like 25K, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is, yeah, sorry, 20% of that, 20% of that is what? One, right? So 1K, so you have 5K, for example, a month.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you, so it's like it's enough cash. If it's for me, it's good enough for a side business. It's actually really good,
You
to
don't
be
have
honest.
empty cash flow. I don't think you have much overhead costs and all that because it's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's difficult to scale because right, it will take me to like do the tests and whatever. It takes human power to scale this business. So
Uh,
that's when
yeah,
I'll have to like try and like come up with strategies to like automate everything. So now having people do, I don't know, hiring other people to do the tests, like cheaper people, I mean cheaper
yeah.
labor, and yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see, man. We'll see. Before it gets to Mozambique, before I start helping people, I have to be able
Yeah,
to help myself. You know what I mean? Then
exactly.
I'll start trying to like help everyone else. Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
But I
We'll
mean,
see.
also helping these young developers in Mozambique could help you be the bridge between them and these companies.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, um, definitely. And like the thing is, the expectations are very low. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And what I picked up actually in Mozambique,
Uh-huh.
there's good developers. The problem is communication. The problem is, for example, I wanted to hire a guy from Mozambique. He's a very good developer, but
Yeah.
like his English is not at a level that it should be for you
Yeah.
to be able to communicate like technical concepts. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like
Mm-hmm.
talking to technical people is difficult. Even for me, sometimes it's difficult to explain to my boss or my manager what I'm doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's not at the same technical level that I am. I have to like it takes real a lot of skill to explain difficult concepts to people. It takes a lot of skill. So if you don't even like know the language very well, like
Yeah.
people will get frustrated working with you, even if you're very smart.
Yeah.
I feel you.
You can be very smart, but if people don't understand you,
Yeah.
then like they just get frustrated and they will want to work with you.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Is it
Yeah,
the jargon that's used or just English, like basics of communicating in English? What is the
it's
difficult?
just it's just difficult in communicating in English. It's like yeah, some words, accent, also some of the jargon, but the tech jargon, they actually pick it up because they play with the tech. They understand the tech. You know what I mean? So if you tell them tech words, they'll be able to say them and able to like kind of explain you. But yeah, it's a bit difficult. So, but that's I think that's a different challenge that you know
Yeah. Yeah.
someone will be able to like address it, or maybe me one day. I don't know, but yeah, but yeah, enough about
Um,
me.
You're in the right path, and that seems like a very decent problem to solve. You know?
Yeah, I think so too, huh? I think so too. I'm hopeful that not
Hey,
hopeful, but like I
you want to
actually
say
want to like yeah, thanks man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do, man. Bridging
I
the past for
appreciate
the
it.
kids. Like, yeah, no, nothing
Yeah.
better, man.
I just
I don't,
think like with business as or like entrepreneurs, I like what I try to do is not get excited anymore because like I think that one of my biggest weaknesses back in the day is excitement. Was excitement like get very excited about something and then like put in like for like all everything I have for like a month, two, three, four, and then I just run out of steam, out of energy. You know
same,
what I
same.
mean? So I always try to like be very patient, do things slowly, even though like it, I have that urge to do things quickly. I try to do it slowly so that it's like organic growth, organic momentum. Um,
100%, man.
and I don't lose like my energy because yo, I've been involved in 1,000 projects, man, where I just start get excited. Everyone says, yo, that's a dope idea, man. Just do it. Yeah, you're onto something. And then like a few months later, I'm even embarrassed about talking about this because, you know, I just ran out of steam.
Marcelo,
So
that's what our 20s are for. Like we're supposed to be doing this shit, like having nice
you think so?
bro, like, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Like we're supposed to be getting excited and like fucking crashing, you know? Like this builds
Okay.
knowledge. I prefer that than like you getting to your 30s or 40s and having like a ton of responsibilities, and then you start to like execute your ideas, and something bad happens and you get a heart attack. You get me? So like this is the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
you know? Like,
But I also get what Marcel is saying, bro. Because, for example, with me, Ugo, you'd know this, bro. In the past 4 years, I've been like trying all kinds of things, and I'm like, yo, this is the thing, bro. This is the thing, and then I'm like, something happens and whatnot. But for the past 3 or 4 months, I talked to you last week or something. I've been very patient. I've been like, I'm not even worried about letting people know exactly. I want to find my rhythm, make sure that I have the foundation right, that I'm able to sustain it, and then I'll start like organic, as Marcelo said, because like I've been doing like I don't even think you guys know. I have a YouTube. I have like 6 videos there already, but I'm not really like letting people know. Like, oh my God, I want to make sure that I can sustain that and that the foundation is good and just keep delivering the good shit, instead of getting super hype about it as I was in the past. And I think that's healthy. Going back to emotional intelligence, I think that's healthy too, man. It's necessary.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sheldon, like that's been something that hey, sometimes I start reflecting and I get pissed off when I think about like you, like dude, like you are one of the smartest guys that I know, bro.
Come
If
on, man.
like you and Marcel are very smart guys, and like you can see that you were born with like an intellectual gift, like technical solving, like technical problems, learning skills very
Uh,
quick. You and Marcelo, like that's something that you guys possess. Ipa, I'm jealous of that. You guys are smart naturally. And I've noticed it's like
Yeah.
a
Thanks,
pattern of
bro.
like smart people, like they get impatient when things don't go their way, or like they get very excited. And I don't know. I think it's like the way smart brains, like the way they connect process to outcome, it kind of works as a
Yeah.
disadvantage to them. Like for me, I'm not the brightest guy. I'll probably never be the brightest guy, but I look at some and I'm cool with going through the whole process. Like it can take me like years, bro. Like because I know like I'm humble. Like I'm not the smartest guy. Like I'm not used to solving big problems.
You're being very humble right now, bro, because you are very smart. Bye, go on, go on.
I don't think so, bro.
That's
I don't.
true. I agree with Shelton.
You're
I
being
agree with
very
Shelton.
humble, bro. You're smart as fuck, bro. Come on.
Nah, I don't think
You
so.
are,
Bro,
but I think
keep
you
preaching with
touch on a
yourself.
good point. Like I think what happens with like, what you call smart people, right?
Yeah,
It's like you were used to like winning. You know what I mean? You're
yeah,
used to
Mm.
success, especially
yeah.
like
Yeah,
let's say because like at school, right? It's easy to win, man. It's there's like a path and like there's patterns that they teach you. All you have to do is pick up those patterns and
Yeah.
yeah,
very
you're
true.
good, right?
Mhm.
So you're used to winning, used to winning, used to winning. Like let's say 12 or 16 years of your life, you go to college, right? You're just winning.
Yeah.
Then
Mhm.
real life starts hitting you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like,
True.
bruh, there's no patterns. There's no like that guy that you knew that you thought would never make it. This guy is making 100 times more than you. What?
Yeah.
How do you do that? How did you get there? You try and do that. There's no path. That like you just get lost, and that's why I think you touch on a very good point. It's like
True.
we're impatient. We just want to win quickly, and like a lot of people are something that I've been teaching myself. It's like I'm not afraid of failing no more. Like
Hmm.
right now, I just do stuff, and I don't like. I know it's people say this a lot, but I literally do not care
Yeah.
what people say.
That's
Like
the most
literally,
man in the room, the guy who doesn't give a fuck.
Exactly.
exactly,
Yeah.
because you're gonna be able to do stuff that no one else will be able to do because you just risked it. You know what I mean? To me,
Yeah.
for example, right? If the whole crypto thing made me, because when I was investing in crypto, I was like, oh, I used to dream a lot. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a millionaire, whatever. But like, if that happened, right? If that happened was because I risked it. You know what I mean? And that happened to a lot of people. You know what I mean? A lot of people invested in Bitcoin and became millionaires. And like, if they lost all their money, they'll be called stupid.
Yeah.
But because they made money, now people look at them as like these geniuses. So there's this thing I always say to like my friends. It's like you are stupid until you make it.
It's true.
Because when you make it, people will call you a genius.
All right.
But
It
it's
took me like
exactly the same thing. When
to
people
record.
look at you doing something and you're not there yet, this guy is stupid. This guy is doing this YouTube shit. This guy is, doing whatever. He's trying to build this tech company. He's trying to do trading or whatever that is, man. They're gonna call you stupid. But when you make it, yo, you're a genius, bro. Everyone just starts praising you. And it's not because you're smarter than them. It's just because you were able to do something that they wish they could, which is just try, just risk it, you know? So,
And persist. Stay on it without quitting and shit.
yeah.
Yeah. What's up, bro? God, how's the crypto education shit going, man? I noticed you're going very hard on that, and you're really
I'm struggling.
doing like,
I'm struggling to find the right medium. The thing is, I love to do the talk. When it comes to like writing down courses, I don't know, man. That's just not my thing. So right now, I outsource the guy who kind of does that for me. So I just tell him what's up, and he puts it into a proper format.
Mm.
okay.
Because yeah, it just took me. At first, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do PowerPoints, and then I'm gonna just go through them, record myself, and it should be pretty easy game. Yeah, and then with all the softwares on how to record myself and with the microphone and the whole setup, at one point I was like, okay, is this even again, is this the thing that I want to do in the sense of I prefer to have a proper conversation with someone when I teach, so I don't even know if I want to do the PowerPoints anymore. So
Yeah.
that's the thing because what I offer is just I explain people besides crypto, I just want them, as you guys said, like emotional intelligence is everything, okay? And I just tell you guys because if I feel like you guys are ADs, I lost over US dollar in an ICO, right? Never delivered, they never fucking launched, and that was literally like after I made all the money in the world, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like my last big play, right? I was on top of the fucking world. I thought like, oh, everything's gonna go amazing. This is gonna turn my into, and I'm done. So turned went to fucking zero. While that happened, my best friend died. So much shit happened to me that right now I'm at a point of saying I don't give a fuck about the market, and it's so tough for people, obviously, at first to take the emotions out. But yeah, so what I give my students is just like the emotional stability that I got from trading and all the other kind of things. And yeah, so what I offer to my peeps, just like guys, I have your back, right? I tell you everything from fundamentals to technical to just how to live the lifestyle of kind of like a investor trader and how to just navigate financially safely through your life, right? Because people again always think, yeah, short term, let's make a quick buck, let's make a quick buck. This money game, we will play it for all our life, right? And I
Yeah.
keep you guys are smart as fuck, so I don't even need to tell you how to understand that if you don't fucking properly manage your money, you will be the fucking loser all your life, right? And most people
Yeah.
know the fuck, and once they start, either it's too late or it's just yeah, probably they're already in a bad spot that they cannot just get themselves out. So yeah, but yeah, to come back to your question, it's been tough because it's just so much to talk, and I don't like to write. So yeah, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Nice.
All right.
Can you share maybe some of the stuff that you already have? I'll be really like
For
keen to have a look at it.
sure, for sure. The thing is, what I know is gonna happen, and what kind of the only thing, because it sounds stupid, but I'm not doing it for the money. If you see all the guys on Instagram, yeah, come join my WhatsApp group, $100, all my signals. So that's not what I really dislike those kind of guys because again, they're selling dreams, and most of the
Yeah,
people they're getting part of their reality. Doesn't matter if they're profitable for a week or two. At the end of the day, they're not learning the fundamentals of investing or trading.
true.
And I know once Bitcoin closes a weekly candle above 11,000, we're going to start the next proper bull market. And once we break 20,000 US dollar and we're going for a new all-time high, thousands and thousands and thousands of new people are going to get into the space, and the same shit is going to happen again. Scammers are going to pop up left and right, and they are going to take the new batch of noobs by the hand and teach them shit, right? So the only thing that kind of motivates me right now is I do have, let's say, 8 months before a proper bull market starts and the new people are coming in. And that's when I want to have the content ready in order to just absorb the new guys and teach them properly. Because I know that people who got into crypto 6 months ago will pretend to be the OGs and the experts like they did in 2017, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I know too many people who got burned, and it's the natural thing. But still, if I can avoid people, like if I can help 1,000 people losing money, like to avoid losing money, that's my thing, right? So why not? I mean, when people always say like, "Yeah, dude, why are you doing all this or this?" The market doesn't give a fuck. Even though crypto is small, it's not like your $1,000 or $5,000 has any fucking impact on anything, right? So I don't care if you don't care. I don't need you if you want to learn and if you're willing to take risks and to understand the opportunity which is in front of your eyes, then go for it, right? So I charge like what, $99 for a membership, which is kind of like not even like.
Yeah, the thought was when I was going to ask, you still using the same model, 99 euros for lifetime membership, right?
And that's again, like people always ask me, like, yeah, dude, what do you mean lifetime? And I always answer them, man, I just want to sit up. I'm going to sit in the Bahamas with a cocktail. When I'm there, I won't be like super responsive. But before that, with $99, I got you. So
Yeah.
I will help you and answer all the questions that all the students have until I'm just like, yeah, fuck you, money kind of style, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now
So
that's
yeah,
cool. I really like what you're offering.
excuse me.
I'm saying I really like what you're offering because that's something that now, for me, looking back, I would really appreciate. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I would really
thanks.
appreciate having someone that is, that's the thing. I think the problem there is trust, right? Like, if you can create that, like, if you can create trust in the market, people really know, like, this guy is legit. He talks real shit. Like, he actually cares about you. He's not doing it for the money, right? Then I think a lot of people, like, you have a lot of people coming to you. Because to me, that was a problem. Like, there's no one I could trust and no one that
Yeah,
really
I
understood.
mean, they're so scammy already. I mean, everyone is doing the same, and everyone looks the same, and everyone says the same two things. And I mean, we've all read Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? I mean,
Exactly.
we know the classic. Yeah, I get the financial freedom and do this and this and this. But at the end of the day, it's so much fucking harder to execute consistently over a longer period of time those things that make sense, right? I mean, everyone that reads Rich Dad Poor Dad or any kind of low level financial education books, everything makes sense. The hard thing is to fucking hustle and to understand you need money to make money and you need to put in the fucking work. There is no free money on the market.
Yeah.
It's
Now
true.
that's dope. I like that.
Scott,
I like that.
since you're like in the educational sector of like crypto, like from what I've seen, there are two types of crypto investors. First,
Okay.
there's the
Tell me.
crypto fan boy or girl, like they love crypto. Like a conversation
Yeah,
with them would
obsessed with it.
around big moves and like big news and big developments and yo, big
Mhm,
future,
mhm,
blah blah. But then there's the other guy. This is like he's just there with the technical eye and he's looking at like price points. That's all he's looking for. Like he's in and out of the market, like squeezing a bit of squeeze there, you know. Like for you, which type of student has a higher rate of success trading crypto exclusively, not forex, just crypto? Like what guy is more likely to make it in the crypto
It
space?
depends. It depends on their I would say on their time period, on their investment horizon. Because most people, and especially the guys that you were talking about, the guys who are completely in love with one specific project, who are
Yeah,
like fanboying around and screaming how well it is and how the new partnerships they got and everything. 99% of the cryptocurrencies are going to zero.
yeah,
Okay, 99% of the cryptocurrencies are going to zero. The
yeah,
ones that I invested in 2017, 99% of them are not there anymore today. And the same market cycle and the same shit is going to happen again.
yeah,
And I would say the guy who understands the fundamentals is the guy who's going to win. When it comes to trading in general, obviously the guy who just purely technically looks at the market wins, because as soon as you're biased, your trading just gets fucked, right? I mean, that's my biggest mistake in my life was, first of all, investing so much money in that fucked up ICO. And the second thing is I was so in love with Bitcoin that I got completely delusional, right? I mean, I got into it so early, and I kind of understood the whole concept and how big it probably could be quite early.
mhm,
So at one point, I was just like, there is no point for me to own fiat currencies. I
yeah,
was so obsessed with the idea of a deflationary asset, which is censorship resistant, which is deflationary, which is all of the things that Bitcoin does the best and is the only project in the world
yeah,
which does it how which does it that way. So I was so obsessed with Bitcoin that at one point I was just like, yeah, I am never going to sell the Bitcoin that I have, and I will just try to like all the expenses that I have. I will just do like kind of pocket money, whatever. So yeah, I was one of the guys who was so in love with one specific industry that I completely
yeah,
forgot to diversify my money. So right here, right now, I do not have enough real estate. Well, I have a lot of gold, but still, in general, my portfolio right now is still not. Like every rational guy with a triple digit IQ would look at my portfolio and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So yeah, I lost a lot of money. I made a lot of money, but I still think that over the next, let's say, 10 years, crypto is probably still, and Bitcoin is the best performing asset over the past 10 years. And I am quite confident when I say that Bitcoin will be the best performing asset over the next 10 years. That's why I'm still heavily crypto based, like my portfolio. But yeah, as you said, there are guy who understood what they're doing, and there are guy who kind of understood the concept, fell in love with it, and are going to lose.
yeah,
So all those fanboys, the moment you see someone, and that's the thing, because Bitcoin is the only currency in the world that if you're a Bitcoin believer,
yeah,
it doesn't really matter, right? All those little projects, there's a team behind it. There's like a specific CEO usually, whatever. So you are fanboying as a company, right? Bitcoin is the only code which is decentralized to an extent and has a big market cap that it's not, Bitcoin doesn't fucking care, right? Bitcoin doesn't fucking care. Bitcoin exists. It exists for 10 years and it will still exist in 10 years. It doesn't matter if you're there or not. So every time you see a guy who is so in love with a project, you know that this guy, it's the same like someone shilling a stock. It's literally so much closer to a company than to something like Bitcoin, which is truly decentralized code, right? So every fanboy in general, you can just put a stamp on them and say, yeah, at one point or another, he's going to lose big time because he's just obsessed with something which is very likely to fail.
Yeah.
yeah. And I never understood like people just buying crypto and holding, especially like after 2018. Like I really didn't understand. Like
I mean, once you get fooled with those, I mean, I bought Ethereum at $7, for example. If
yeah,
I would have just, and Ethereum is like proper legit. The whole decentralized finance applications will be built on Ethereum. Microsoft, Ernst and Young, Deloitte, all of those guys, JP Morgan is going to issue their JP Morgan coin on the Ethereum blockchain. So there are real use cases, real applications built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. So Ethereum, for example, is in my eyes, besides Bitcoin, probably the investment of a lifetime still, even though it's already $100. Ethereum can literally go to 5K plus. And I don't want to sound like one of the guys, yeah, moon, but seriously, if Ethereum, because they're going to have a major protocol upgrade over the next 6 months, if that the transition to proof of stake, which is the update, goes smoothly, Ethereum will moon so fucking hard, it will go crazy. But
Yeah.
then again, many people will fall in love with a project which is built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, so what people don't really understand, and that's in my opinion one of the most interesting things or kind of trends to understand and catch over the next years, is why would you risk your money and invest in a company slash project slash code, whatever you want to call it, which uses the Ethereum blockchain to build or solve a problem? Why wouldn't you invest in the fucking underlying asset, which is literally the ecosystem on it itself, right? So most people would, even though they're on the right path and they're in the right sector, most people will get fucked because they think, "Oh, I have this little project which will outperform Ethereum," even though Ethereum is the underlying everything, right? Like your project wouldn't even exist without Ethereum.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's super interesting because there's literally a whole new sector emerging on top of Ethereum, and in my opinion, that's probably going to be one of the big things we do. You're working in the finance industry. You said what job specifically? If I may ask, or what company?
Sorry.
What position or what in what sector in the finance industry do you work in?
Oh no, it's like this. I work as a financial manager for NGO here, so it's not like a bank or anything. So I just
Oh,
like their
okay.
financial part. Yeah,
Okay, so cool.
Yeah.
it's nothing
I
that
think,
moves me.
Scott, I'm
Yeah.
going back to what you're saying, right? I think you're right there. Like, it's there's still a lot of people that like are fanboys, and like I was also one, right?
Bro,
And
me as well.
yeah, so like, and I lost money because of that, right? And a lot of money. So, and I just feel like the thing is that it's going back to like emotional intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Because the tactics they use to lure you into them, like, are very strong, and not everyone is able to like, you know, um, yeah, they're not able to pick them
Resist.
up. Yeah, it's very difficult to resist. You know what I mean? It's very easy for, like, for example, ICOs. Just like you said, you invested like a lot of money into one ICO. That's exactly how I lost my money, right? So I invested in a bunch of ICOs, and I made some money, but then I was like, okay, there's this big ICO. It's like It's actually it's like fucking gambling, to be honest, because you're gambling, and then you gamble, you make some money, you start making more and more and more, and then okay, cool, you have a big sum, and they're like, cool, I feel really special about this next gamble. You put it all
What
in, you lose
goes
it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But that's you learning. I feel like for you to learning costs something, to some
yeah,
people it costs $10. For others it costs $10,000, the same lesson. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's sometimes, I mean, I'm not like too religious or anything like that, but like sometimes it's just had to happen for a
100%.
bigger purpose. Like
Yeah, for sure.
sometimes you going through that is actually what gave your life, like turned your life around to like something bigger, right? And one day you look back and you'll be like, oh, okay, if it wasn't for that one event, if it wasn't for that, the crypto market or whatever, I wouldn't be here today. Or maybe not, but like it's
Maybe
really,
everything is to shit from here. Maybe
yeah,
everything.
true.
yeah,
True.
We'll see, we'll see. But still, no fucking excuses. We have everything in our fucking hands, right? I mean, things happen, but how you react to them and what you make out of it is, at the end of the day, everything in our.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, bro. The lessons you learn, man. That's what's up. Yo, oh, by the way, do you plan on doing anything like on the forex side, like educational and shit, or you're not even like interested in that?
Nah, for now, no. But yeah, it's really my dream to go educational in the future. But for now, it's not really applicable. I wouldn't be able to do it right now. I don't have time for that. But yeah, in the
All
future,
right.
it's
So
something that I definitely do, especially in Mozambique. Like,
that,
I'm happy to do it.
that's interesting. Bro. I could never imagine you. I imagine that you'd be like, nah, that's not my thing. So you're really thinking about it. That's interesting, bro. What's the driver behind that? What's up?
Like, bro, like when you go through a lot of struggles, bro, like I've been in a dark place. Like, bro, I've been in a dark hole. So when you kind of like begin to come out of that, you have so many lessons that you just want to like teach to other people and then make sure that they don't make those same mistakes, you know?
Mm.
So, bro, like it's
100, bro.
like an obligation to do it. Like before I'd say I'd be selfish, like, nah, I just do it like for myself. And but bro, like when you go through shit, you really wanna like when you're in a better place, you really wanna like make sure people don't go through the bad stuff, you know? It's ethical.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Ethical.
I
And
feel you.
do you have anything else, or like now you're just focusing on the job and the forex? So do you have any other projects that you might have in mind
Bro,
that you want to talk about?
it's like this. I was supposed to start representing a company in Mozambique. Like I was gonna quit my job before the pandemic. Like I was 2 weeks away
Yeah.
from putting in my resignation letter. I'd be going into like the medical equipment business. I'd be supplying like companies in Maputo and stuff like that. So that had to be put on
Yeah.
hold. So bro, like right now it's just like I'm glad I didn't lose my job with the whole pandemic. So I'm just focused on up for now and trading. That's all. I had
All
also
right.
dabbling with some real estate, which I had to put on pause. Like I had to put that on pause for real. That would be on pause for a while. So
Okay.
now I'm
Okay.
focusing on maintaining like good cash flow and saving everything I can. Because this
Yeah,
this this pandemic, bro, taught people you have to have a plan A, B, and C, and you have to have like a cushion of savings to survive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bro,
Let's
I know
actually talk
people.
about that, like our learnings.
Yeah, like I know people
Yeah.
right
Let's.
now that. Sorry,
Yeah.
I know people
Yeah. Go
right
on.
now
Go
that
on. Go
just
on.
from their jobs, and that was like their only source of income, and they had really good jobs, like very good jobs, benefits. They could send their kids to good school. They could rent like nice apartments. But bro, like from one day to another, they just got like laid off.
What? Yeah. Fuck.
So it's
Yeah,
a time to like really reflect on our like financial habits. Like we need to create like different sources. It's not a privilege. It's an obligation. You have to create other sources of income.
yeah. I agree with you. And one thing that I learned from this, right, is I mean, there's a couple of things I learned from this pandemic, right? But like I would say the first thing is that just how vulnerable the world is. It's like how vulnerable the world is and how media has such a big impact on our lives.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. It's not like I support like conspiracy theories or whatever, but like I mean, Corona is just weird, man. Like this whole pandemic is weird. Like
Bro,
something
why do you-
just doesn't feel right.
guys,
And
where do you sit right now, if I may ask?
Sorry?
say that again.
Where do you sit right now? Where? Like one is in Cape Town, no? Other one is in
Yeah.
Zimbabwe.
No. Mozambique. I'm in
Mhm.
Mozambique. Marcelo's in
Ah,
Cape Town.
Mozambique.
Yeah.
How big is lockdown right there, right now?
How? What?
Yeah.
Sorry. Can you say that again?
Sorry, how strict is the lockdown? Is it still like is like everything kind of opening up again, or is it still super locked down?
Okay, so here in South Africa, it's much better now. Like most businesses are back. It's just a few industries that are still under like not operating, like gyms, entertainment, hospitality. Um, yeah, but like most industries are back. You know. business as usual, I guess.
And you think a second wave is coming, or was it kind of a scam?
A second wave.
No,
It's
every
coming.
I mean, if I look at the numbers in Luxembourg, it's ridiculous. We had less people over 80 dying during the pandemic than before. It's ridiculous. It's you cannot even the amount of money that the Luxembourg government has spent to prevent 85-year-old people from dying. It's incredible.
Yeah. I think
It,
that's again what I'm saying about the world being vulnerable. Like it's I mean like we I don't know, man, we're just doing things without thinking. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you would see people, for example, like small things, like you'd see people in the US fucking go and buy all toilet paper. And then people are doing that there, and then in South Africa, people also start doing that. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what is your rationale? Like, what are you thinking, right? When you go out of the house and you go and you buy fucking 10 packs of toilet paper to put in your apartment or whatever, what's the logic behind it? It's there's no logic. It's just them reacting to what? To media, to the
yeah.
chaos, right? And this whole corona, like this COVID-19, oh man, it's just weird, man. Like things are, in my opinion, things are overinflated. There's this book, and I'm thinking like this because I read this book of some Trust Me, I'm Lying, right? By Ryan Holiday, right? One of my favorite writers. Bro, like the way he explains how media works, like he will just give you a, like you probably won't believe anything you read because it's just like how these guys control the world. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's just something weird about COVID, man. It's weird. I don't know. But anyway, besides that, I also learned a lot about like myself, because being in lockdown gave me a lot of time to just reflect and just really understand stuff like my addictions, like because there's a lot of things you couldn't do, you know, a lot of things that you just had to like stay at home and not, you couldn't, for example, like just go for a run or go to the gym or, buy alcohol, buy whatever. So it taught me a lot about like things that I make myself dependent to like live the life I want, if you guys know what I mean. So that was cool, but I think we needed something like this, to just weed out a lot of, like, for example, I think Scott, you're talking about businesses, right? There's a lot of businesses that are just highly inefficient, right? They just
Yeah.
waste money and, they hire people without reason. They just operate inefficiently. They waste investors' money and whatever. So, like, in my opinion, all this was needed because it's changing the market, right? For example, a lot of companies are now working remotely, right? So which is something that we should be doing already for a long time. The tools are there, right? But no one was really putting like their foot down to wanting to make that change. But now, for example, my company, I suspect that we might never go back to the office because we actually been more efficient working remotely, right? And the same thing with a lot of services, right? Like
Yeah.
I know a lot of like e-commerce businesses, for example, our most popular here in South Africa is Takealot, is booming, right? And actually all their merchants as well, like the people that sell there, right? They're also like making considerable more money because like it's just more efficient to operate like that. You know what I mean? So I
That's
think that
the biggest observation. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's the biggest observation that I've seen thus far is that any business that has they base uh, they base operations based online or digital, and they don't depend on the brick and mortar. They fucking winning, bro.
yeah,
If
they're
your
winning.
business is mainly or mostly online or digitally, you're good, bro. You're better than ever, and that's very interesting to see.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think those are my key takeaways. I don't know what are your guys' thoughts on the whole pandemic?
Me personally, I'm loving it, man. Like not like that because there's a lot of fucked up shit happening and a lot of death, and there's a lot of. But personally, for me, this is being amazing. This is being amazing, mostly because of what you said about self reflection and all that. But not only because at heart, I'm an introvert. I love staying home. I talk to people. I love being social, but like I don't like talking to too many people and too much, too often. Like stay to myself, doing my shit. And I think that the pandemic is giving me an opportunity to lean more into that, because before, even though I knew, like, you know what, Chuck, you're a fucking introvert. Just stay to your thing. I would still like be going out almost every day and whatnot, and just you got to the point that it was very draining. But I'll keep doing it. Like, fuck it. Let me just keep on doing that. But with the pandemic, I'm just staying home on my thing, connected to myself, not a lot of distractions, not too much going on, and it's been very good, man. It's been very good emotionally, psychologically, physically, spiritual, everything, man. It's been dope, and I've been creating more than ever. It's like just pros, pros, pros. No cons thus far.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
You must be
That's really
thriving
cool.
because this lockdown is like really where you like where what environment you thrive in, Sheldon. Like
What?
like you must be thriving right now. Like this is your environment. People like staying at home and like
Yeah, that's my
thinking.
thing.
That's really you.
So
Yeah, this is
Hugo,
my thing.
how did it impact your business there in Tofu?
Hey bro, like we're like zero, man. Like no clients, nothing, bro. Like Tofu is dead. Like it's closed basically. It's like no people renting the houses, everything.
Mm,
Only
Hmm.
there's only some people that are renting, but like long term. People that are kind of like wanting to do the
uh,
lockdown in Tofu, not many people. So there's some people doing that here, like renting like for a
yeah.
month or two. But of course, we have lower margins of that.
Hmm. And yo, guys, what do you think of the impact that this will have on human to human behavior? Because, like, look. Uh, there's this whole thing, love languages with that. My love language is physical touch. Number one, I love like hugging, shaking hands, whatever, bro. I love that shit.
Stop lying,
And
nigga.
with all of this, huh?
Stop lying, nigga.
Me
I never see
You're
you hug anyone,
exposing me,
bro.
bro. You're exposing me.
neither, bro.
Hey man, you don't see the back end shit, bro. You don't see the back end shit. But yeah, man, I'm just worried, bro. Like, how is it gonna be affect like human to human behavior? We're seeing
Um,
more shit like this, people getting on FaceTime or talking via social media, and they finding a pace in that. And when they go out, it's like, hey, stay away from me, no touching. In the restaurants, shit is getting weird. Like, how
I
will
think we'll go
humans
back to normal, man. We'll go back to normal, man.
I mean,
think so?
everyone is kissing already, and no one gives a fuck. To be honest,
Yeah,
everyone.
we'll go
Yeah,
back to normal, man.
Yeah, man. I hope so. I
I
hope
hope
so.
so as well.
Nah, we
Man,
will, man. Like this is nothing, man. Like humans, like it takes a lot to change our behavior. It's not
yeah,
just like 6 months that will like completely change like how we do things. Like we will go back to normal in a
But
few.
in how much time? Because here's my thing. Here's my thing. Uh, let's say this is still the so-called first wave, right? And we're still on it, and shit will die down. They'll probably have a second wave. We're talking at least 1.5 years, at least, in the way I see it, in my opinion, from the research that I've done. And during that whole time, it's like this precaution type shit, you know. So we're gonna live like at least one more year and a half in these type of behaviors. That's a little scary to me, man. That's a little scary.
it's super scary and like travel restrictions stuff like
Yeah, this is a little scary. I don't know if
yeah,
the human being was designed. I mean, we adapt, of course, the most adaptable species on Earth, but still, it's scary, man. It's scary.
you know what's gonna happen now? People are
Yeah.
gonna start being a lot more selfish. Like families, especially, they're gonna start getting very selfish.
Mm,
Like, bro,
yeah,
everyone
yeah,
that has kingdom is like protecting the kingdom, like the empire. It's
yeah,
like, yo, I'm good. Epa, how about you? Like, are you good? Like, everyone is like in their own corner. It's not like how can we get together and like solve problems? Everybody's like just
yeah,
corner. Like, yo, Epa, I'm good. I don't know. I don't care if you good too. That's what's happening now. Like, my point is, like it's everyone for themselves right now.
yeah, man.
Yo, guys,
But you know what?
can I ask you a question? What did you think about the Black Lives Matter movement? Did you think it was? a bit too, not too much, but in a sense how they portrayed it, like everyone just hopped on the trend. What did you think about it? Because I feel like, I mean, yeah, obviously you are involved in the kind of discussion
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you're smart.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts?
Me?
Um,
Yeah.
man, me personally, as I was talking with Marcelo before you guys joined, like the USA has been fucked up for a while, man. And I think that this was in good time. Honestly, I think the intensity it was right on point. Everything because that country has been fucked up for years, man. For years, for centuries, and everything was silent before, was not documented before, but the people have been suffering for years, and this is needed in due time, and in due time. That's my opinion. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I also I agree with you. Like I
Decision
think
to
it
name,
should have been bigger than what it was, in my opinion.
really?
And
Point.
the thing is like it's ridiculous that we still like I mean it's ridiculous to see those type of things happening, honestly, man. Like especially in the US.
Yeah,
Especially in the US. I would imagine that would happen in countries like in Asian countries or whatever, I don't know, like US, you would imagine that, it's such a developed country. It's a country where you have a lot of like, black people rising. You have a lot of black entrepreneurs, investors, and whatever, like black successful people. But still, you know, you have people just portraying black individuals, color, like minorities, basically being mistreated in the U.S. Every minority, right? So
it's crazy.
I
It's
think
crazy.
like should have been bigger than this. And I was actually watching. I don't know if you guys ever watched Spartacus.
I haven't.
Nope.
You haven't. Okay, okay, never mind then. So yeah, I think it was long. It was long coming, and I believe that there will be a movement even bigger than the one that happened now. I think that like something really needs to happen in that country. Like
Yeah.
it's
Mm.
messed up, and once it happens there, it will set an example to the whole world. You know what I mean? Because whatever happens in the US is, it's pretty much it's like the standard. You know what I mean? So like I feel like those type of behaviors, not just against black people, but against any minority anywhere, right? Will have will have will be impacted because you cannot treat people like that just because of their social conditions and whatever they like.
It
It's
just doesn't make
it's
sense,
not right,
man.
man. It's not right. But it
It
takes
doesn't.
time, you know? It takes time. Like it's one thing to be disrespected, Like it's one thing for you to know. For example, here in Cape Town, there's places that I go that, I know that because I'm black, I'm treated differently. You know what I mean? I feel, you sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
100%.
and you sense some sort of like effort from the person to like not trying to be rude with you and whatever. um, but they just come out rude as well. And I don't blame anyone. It's just a matter of education, and it's just how you come up, how you were raised, and all those things. A lot of times, it's not really you're not thinking when you're doing those type of things. You're not
Yeah.
thinking when you're being racist. You're not thinking. It's not like you. It's not logical for you. It's something that is just on your. Uh, it's like what's it called? I wouldn't say an
Condition.
intuition, but it's something that it's already in you, it's in a part of your brain that you cannot control, right? So it's in a part of your brain that you can't control. So if someone is racist towards you, it's not really like them trying to harm you. It's a way of them like protecting themselves because the way they were raised, it was like black people are aggressive, or black people steal, or black people this, that, whatever, right? So I understand that, but now it's different when you're killing people, like purposefully. You know what I mean? Like you take out your gun and you kill someone. That's crazy. When you kill someone with your knee, bro, you wouldn't
How long
even kill like a
it
dog
was?
or a
Uh,
chicken with your knee, bro. Now you're killing a person. Yo, that's crazy, man.
Like I
That's
try to
crazy.
make sense of it. I try to when this whole thing started, I try to sit in my bed and I try to understand like you're trying to like you did the part about you know people just disrespect in general, right? But this whole life I don't find a logical reason or understanding. Like this just doesn't make sense. My brain cannot process why would a human being just kill another human being for no reason besides his the color of his skin. Like that to me is it just doesn't make a lot of sense and it's just very stupid, man. It doesn't make sense.
Underestimating
And
smartness, the fucking stupidness of the Americans, right? My cousins are American, and they went. I think one of them did like French for 8 years, and she can barely order at a restaurant. So Americans in general are like their education system is fucked.
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I don't know that. I actually thought their educational system was pretty dope.
Again, I mean, that's another thing. The people that we met, like the ones that travel or whatever, are obviously the ones who are, the upper 5%, whatever. The
Yeah.
don't meet are usually the ones that vote for Trump and have no fucking idea what's going on.
Mm,
Yeah, man. Most Americans
right.
like they're oblivious to a lot of things, man. Most don't even have a passport to start with. Like they're very in their own bubble. Like it's a very interesting country, man. It's an interesting country. It's a very interesting country.
You know what I like now? Like I think the I think most, I mean, America is powerful, because of their economy, whatever, right? But I think one of the things that gives them the most power is like control of the media and entertainment in the world, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like the fact that they control music, they control not sports, but they control sports is actually like soccer, football is the only thing that they fortunately they don't control. Otherwise, it would be cheating. But like then you have basketball, you have media, like they control all of that. But I like the fact that now that power is like becoming decentralized. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, you consume things from like different countries, like not just music, news, all sorts of content. You are like that power is being decentralized from them, and I think like that will allow us to not look up a lot to them, and also it will humble them a little bit because I feel they're very arrogant because of that. They feel special because of all that power the country has. But you
Yeah,
know,
and bro, you know what the most interesting thing of all that you're saying? The things that you talked about they control the culture because of the music and the sports. And who are the people that are doing those things for most part? It's like it's black people. The black people are the ones on the NBA, on the NFL, with the music. It's hip hop. It's the number one genre to listen to. Like all of that you talked about is black people that contribute the most to
but can I tell you
everything in
something?
America,
Sorry
right?
to
So
interrupt.
it's
It's like
yeah,
their, I think one of their biggest assets right now that no one actually thinks about is data. And like the
mm,
way the power that tech companies, American tech companies have in the world is scary. And everyone should be concerned about this because, you have Amazon, right? You have most of the, I mean, you have Amazon, right? So like AWS, the Amazon Web Services is like a product that most companies, like I would say, let me say 50% of the world uses them, right? To build their products. Then you have Microsoft. Then you have Google, Facebook,
Facebook. Oh, Facebook.
Yo,
all
but
that,
do you know who's
all that.
behind the
Yeah.
Chinese government has 100% ownership in the company behind TikTok. So every single draft, every single TikTok you do, everything related to TikTok goes straight into the pocket of the Chinese government.
And what do you think of that?
What do I think about that? I don't know. It's scary, but it is what it is.
But why is it scary? Because that's exactly what happens with the US.
No,
Like,
no, no. I'm just saying, like, there are other players involved as well. I mean, Russia and
Yeah,
China.
yeah.
are not like the nice guys, not harvesting data. I'm saying
Yeah,
like
that's true.
right now, I'm
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
everything with data. The
100
same way
million
that
downloads over the past 6 months.
it's scary,
yeah,
man.
this whole data thing
Like
is everywhere.
America, if they wanna attack the world, they can do anything they want. They can control us in a way that we don't like. People don't understand this. But
Mm.
you have Facebook, you have Amazon, you have Netflix, you have Google, you have Uber. Like these are you have WhatsApp. I mean, all their data is data like not it's not hosted in the US, it's not stored in the US, but it's American, most of them. You know what I mean? So this is really scary. This is really scary.
Yeah,
And that's their biggest asset right now, in my opinion. Because going forward, we will start seeing more and more like the American government trying to like build backdoors. Then trying to like push legislation towards that. Try and build backdoors to try and understand those type of things, Like they can literally understand how a whole not how a whole country works, but what a whole not a okay, let me not say a whole, but like what a big percentage of a country is thinking, you know, just by going to like all these platforms. You know what I mean? What's the sentiment around something that happened? You know what I mean? How
and
can they
yeah,
maneuver? You have the whole Trump thing winning their elections because they use Facebook's data. They use Facebook literally to win an American election.
and like the thing that I'm interested at is at what point is this as you said, there's a lot of is this a similar conversation as to AI, there's a lot of drawbacks. What if the machines then develop their own language? There was the case of those Facebook AI machines and all that. They was talking in their own language. Nobody knew what the fuck they were saying, were exchanging all this shit. And there's a lot of drawbacks, but at the same time, the pros to that and what could be invented because of that, the ease and all that advancement in technology and all that is also pretty dope. So I think with data is a similar situation, man. As you were saying, there's a lot of risk, especially because it's centralized. Most of these companies that are recording the most amount of data are all in the USA, right? But also one side, I'm like, with this amount of data, you know how much could be developed and bettered because you understand all of these behaviors and all that, you know. So I'm a little bit on both sides. I'm like, it's scary, but I like to be done with this, and I don't know how to feel about that.
No one does. We don't know what we're getting into with artificial intelligence. We have no fucking idea.
Yeah, it's scary both with data and AI, bro. I don't even want
Which
to.
is turning back once shit gets out of hands. What do you want to do? I think it was in Japan where artificial they had they had guns, and the guns could kind of well, at one point they controlled themselves and they started shooting and killed like 12 scientists or something.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. And then to tie in with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, there's some concerns about the AI, the cameras, the cameras with the AI and whatnot to identify suspects, and they bias towards people of certain races or ethnic groups, and how that bias is very tricky, man. I hope we
But
have the best minds working on these problems because I don't got the solutions, man. That
but the
ain't me.
problem with that, you know what I mean? The problem is the data. The problem is not the algorithm. It's not the code.
Mm,
The
okay,
problem is the
okay.
data. So if you feed your model a certain type of data,
Mm,
they'll pick up those patterns, right? And that's what they're going to look for,
mm,
and that's how they'll learn.
mm,
So if
yeah.
you, for example, let's say you have 10 people that were convicted to murder, right? And out of
Mm,
those 10 people, right, nine are black.
mm.
What's going to happen?
Exactly.
Obviously they'll see someone black and say the probability that this person is a murderer is higher than a person of a different color. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's I don't know, man. Talking about
yeah.
things that we actually have no idea. But
According to
yeah,
So
conspiracies,
what?
according to like conspiracy theories.
yeah,
Yeah, man. So to switch gears a little bit, we've been on various topics talking about careers, the finance, and then we went into a little bit of some heavier topics that needed to be touched on, like the Black Lives Matter and AI and data. But now to switch gears a little bit, chill a little bit. Um, I love, for whatever reason, I love to talk about relationships. I love to know, what's popping, what you've learned from past relationships, from current relationships, whether you're single or you're engaged, like Marcelo is. And and for me, it's like with this pandemic, I can't really slide on DMs like that no more, man. I can't like Corona doesn't let me no more, man. I've been Thankfully, Pornhub Premium is free, so I'm good like
Is it?
that. But I can't slide on DMs no more, and it's difficult. So let's talk about our love lives, boys. How's it going? How's it going?
I'm living the bachelor life. That's it.
Single life or engaged in something or someone.
Nope. 2 hours ago, I sent two Swedish girls home, so I'm doing the crazy bullshit.
Living the good life. Living the good life, man.
I mean,
Me,
you as a relationship expert, you know that the lonely night. It doesn't matter if you bang two Swedish girls the night before. If you're lonely, you're lonely, right? So
That's true, man.
I'm
That's true, man.
first to the level at which I'm happy with myself, but I feel like it's gonna be like an vicious circle, and I'm never gonna be completely happy with myself. So at one point, I really need to work on myself in the sense of letting people into my life, because right now I'm just working, and super focused on myself. And I know that I should probably interact with more people on a deeper level. So I'm working on that.
Yeah, yeah. That's true, man. It does get lonely, man. I don't know how to deal with that. Yo, Marcelo, by the way, how'd you balance, man? You have so many things going on, and as you mentioned earlier, now you have a fiance, you're engaged, and
Congrats.
how'd you manage to balance all of that, man? How how can you even balance all of that? I wouldn't. How do you? Chalo, are you there?
I guess
Chalo.
he's busy with the
I
fiance.
think he's not on the.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
He's with his fiance, man. That's exactly what happened. But Ugo, in your relationships that you've had in general, how have you been able to balance, and what's
Yeah.
some things that you've learned, man?
Um, but in the relationship that I've been like previously, I was lucky to like be with someone that kind of like supported me in that phase that I was like, before, right?
Yeah,
And yeah, I was able to balance everything. Like, but yeah, things didn't work out because I was going to like a different phase of my life, and I didn't want to have like anyone kind of like depend on me for like I don't know, like moral support and all these things. Like, so I prefer to like let go because if I am in a relationship, like I have to give my best to that person, you know? So yeah, with everything
yeah.
that's going on, I wouldn't be of much use to someone that cares about me. But yeah, but for me,
Mm.
if I were to give advice to someone like in their 20s or like early 20s and like don't get in a like a
Like
deep
me, like me and God. Yeah, give us some game, man.
Straight.
don't get in a relationship, bro. Like hook up and shit, but don't get in a relationship. Like, you have too much going on. Like if you're like Marcelo's a guy that like he grew with this. They're in the same phase.
Yeah, yeah.
It's beautiful to see that. Like you have things going on
It's
with
beautiful.
yourself, you know. So don't don't commit to anyone. My advice. But bro, like but still have like a healthy um
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
life.
overprotect. Yeah.
Sorry? Don't yeah,
But
don't
in
overcommit.
that, sorry. No, I was saying in that because that's exactly like the frame that I'm in, and from what Scott said, that's the same thing. Like we're trying to do a lot of things, we're trying to get a lot of things going on, so we don't really like get to connect that deeply with any one person. Even it's just like a hookup here and whatnot. But in that, bruh, it gets lonely at times, bro. It gets very lonely, man. And I don't know how you guys deal with that shit, bro. Because for me, it's real. I like It's 7 p.m. and I'm taking a break from whatever I'm doing. I feel fucking lonely, man. How'd you guys maneuver that?
I feel like sports is a big thing. At the end of the day, working out is one of the things which just I don't know. Whenever I'm like just okay, my life is weird or whatever, I go out, work out, and afterwards I'm just like, okay, dude, get your shit together. Um, yeah, I don't know. It sounds maybe weird, but working out for me is just like a thing which
Yeah.
just gets me back in the mood of, hey, girl, dude, you're working on yourself. Everything's gonna be fine at one point.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing here. Working out, like having things to do, keeping yourself busy. Like that's really.
Mhm.
Maybe like relationship,
Yeah.
it's also like about keeping the other person happy. If you're with that kind of person, like many people go into relationships thinking that you're supposed to make them happy. You know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
the tough part of relationships, and you're like you have a
Yeah.
responsibility to like meet certain needs and all these things while you're trying to still like grow in your own way individually. So I think there's a right time. But bro, like if you feel the need like to connect with someone deeply, do it, bro. But don't waste someone else's time. Like
That's the
uh,
thing, man. I feel guilty when I know that this is not gonna go like along down the path like of this getting serious. And girls or whatever, girls or boys, like they, if the other people doesn't really know where this is going, and you're 100% sure that it's not gonna be lasting, it's yeah,
it's
waste of time.
Yeah.
you have to
Be transparent about where you and whatnot.
yeah. I don't know, bro. Like my advice, bro. Like learn the dynamics of like connecting with people that you're into, right? Like get on your player shit. You know?
Mm.
Do that. Don't commit, bro. Don't commit.
100, bro. 100. Where the fuck is Cello? I would really love to hear from him because he's in a.
Oh, he's out.
Okay, his thing is connected. Let me send him a message now.
Yeah,
Hugo,
Uh,
Hugo, how old are you, if I may ask?
I'm 26.
26.
Yeah. 26, bro. And you?
I just turned 23 actually last week, so.
Oh,
happy birthday, my man. Come on now.
Yeah,
Happy
brother.
birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
Belated.
I've been wasted for a week now, and really need to get back to fucking work.
you've been getting wasted for a week.
Damn.
Yeah,
What you do for your
yeah,
birthday, bro?
thank you.
What you do for your birthday, bro?
Oh,
You guys hear me?
the
Yeah,
usual.
we
Yeah,
can.
Marcello is back.
Yeah, you're back. All right.
Okay, sorry guys, like something happened, like my headsets disconnected, and then when I connected them back, I don't know, just the mic wasn't working for some reason, so I had to leave the session.
Oh,
But I was hearing everything you guys were saying.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think the first question you're asking me, like, how do I balance? And I must say it's really hard. Like it's really hard for you to be committed to a relationship, and also trying to get your shit together. You know, it's really hard, and especially when that relationship requires you to like give a lot of like emotional support, right? Because it's draining at times, you know. It's draining at times because you're dealing with your own stuff, but you also have this other person that, you know, expects things from you or is making certain demands, needs your help, or like it's really really hard, and it's something that I struggle with for a very long time. Now I mean, like we are in a way better space because um, we are kind of able. We have the same goals now and the same mindset. You know, we started to. I think it's really hard when you guys don't see the world in the same way, right?
Mm.
When you are like when your objectives are not aligned, you know, it's very problematic because you guys won't be able to grow, and that will cause a lot of emotional stress, and that will then, you know, impact everything else in your life, being your work, school, or whatever that is, right? So it's very hard, and like Hugo said, and this is what I tell all my friends as well, it's like don't get into a serious relationship. Don't. It's not worth it right now. It's not. To me, and like if I wasn't with my fiance right now, if it wasn't her, if anything happened, I'll stay single for at least like 2 to 3 years. I'll stay single. Like no commitment to anyone but myself. You know, just everything, all the time that I have, just put into myself. I'll be very selfish, like with very selfish with my emotions, very selfish with my time, very selfish with my brain. Like not focusing my thoughts on anything that does not add value to my life. And obviously relationships add value, but the kind of commitment that it takes for you to make like like a long-term relationship work and all those things, like it's a lot. And I don't think that in your 20s you should be doing that. That's something that you have to do later on in life. That's when you really take advantage of that. I don't think that in your 20s you should be wasting any brain power and trying to like understand your partner, trying to like make them feel good or whatever. I think it's a waste of brain power, but that's just my opinion. Now, yeah, and also you're able to take risks because, like, now a lot of your decisions become clouded because your plans are not just yours anymore. Like now you have to make plans based on what your partner wants, what your partner expects. Maybe you want to like go work overseas and just try this job opportunity that will pay half of what you're getting paid now. And yeah, okay, cool. It could be a very stupid career decision, but maybe like something you learn there will completely change how you think, completely change your mindset. And maybe it's something that you really want to do, but your partner is like, oh no, we have to, make sure that we, travel next year, or we buy the house in 2 years and we have to save money or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not that it's bad, it's also good, it helps you grow, but like you don't want to have your decisions or your plans clouded by the opinions or someone
Yeah.
that has so much like control over your emotions, because whoever controls your emotions controls you. That's it. So you don't want to like give that power to someone else when you are at your prime, I feel like. So if I mean, I'm very glad, I'm blessed that I have the relationship I have. I would never let go this woman, never in my life, whatever it happens. Like I put all my efforts in like making this thing work, right? But yeah, I don't think that someone else should do the same. I was fortunate. I met her when we were like 16, and we've been together since we were 17, right? So that to me is rare, and that type of like bond, it's I don't think I would ever get with anyone else because we know each other at a deep level, like that no one else knows us because we went through the toughest times of our lives together. Like from your teens to like when you're like a young adult, that's when you start to form your character. That's when you change a lot. So we were together during that period, so we really know each other. So I don't want to lose that. That to me is very important. I need to have that person in my life. But
Yeah.
to other people, I don't advise. Like you 25, 23, 24, whatever. You're gonna get in a serious relationship now. I don't think it's a good choice. Unless to a woman it is, right? Because women tend to like try have to like, start building their families younger. It might be for them depending on what their goals are as well, because some women are also very like eager to just get their career going, get their businesses going and whatever, right? And experiment and whatever, which is completely fine and they should do that. But I mean, most times women tend to like prefer to start families earlier. So for them, that's fine. But I feel like as a man, like right now, you should just focus on yourself, focusing, growing, doing like exploring, taking risks and whatever. And if anything goes wrong, if you lose all your money, if you lose everything, no one is impacted by that
Exactly.
besides maybe your parents. Like your parents will be like, okay, you're going back home, you wanna come back here, fine. I mean, they're your parents, they'll accept that. They won't say no ever. But now, if you are in a very serious relationship, you lose everything. Oh man, you're in trouble because now you're messing up with this. Yeah, you're in big trouble. You know.
Super.
And
So
what
yeah,
what has changed? Because before you just dating. You were just dating. You were dating for a long time, 9 years, right? 9 years. You've
yeah,
been
yeah, 9 years.
9 years, and then you you got engaged, man. How what changed, if anything? Or is it like the same dynamic, but it's just like the label? Let's say they're like, well, now we engaged. Or did anything actually change in the practical terms of how you guys interact with one another?
Well, in the relationship, nothing changed.
Oh man, I think it disconnected again. Yep, I think it disconnected again.
Bro, but the dude is spitting fire, man. Fucking true. Oh, yeah.
Real shit. But yeah, I think it disconnected again, man. Oh god. I will just wait for him to join again. But have you guys been using the Pornhub premium features for free?
Nah, man. To be honest with you, I
Nah,
don't think I've ever been on Pornhub.
you've never been on Pornhub in your life. What?
No, no, I use a different platform.
Where
What would you use?
I don't want to talk about it.
Dude, how's it going, man? What platform do you use, Uber,
Getting
bro?
recorded, man.
X videos.
Everything held against me.
Text video.
Yeah.
Do they have a premium feature there?
Nah,
Did you use it? Was it for free for a month, or what was it?
Yeah, I think it was free for a month.
How much does it usually cost?
I think it costs €5. $5. I think it's $5. Don't ask me how I know this stuff, guys. I just know, man.
I'm gonna look it up somewhere.
I just know it, man. I just know
Hold
it,
on,
bro.
sorry.
I just know it. Shelby, you
Yeah,
there?
sorry, I don't know what's going on with my headsets. I think they're like running out of battery or something, so they're acting weird now. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was that. I think I was done talking actually.
Yo, I asked one last question. I asked if anything has changed because of the getting engaged, or if it's the same. It's just the label that
Yeah,
has changed.
I would say the relationship didn't change, right? But the way people see us and the way people treat us changed a lot, right? And like they treat us with more respect now. They take us more serious now, like family itself. When we start talking about our plans and stuff, right? Because there is that commitment.
Um,
And I also think that there's a bit more pressure now, you know, to like get our shit together, you know. But it's pressure from
yeah.
it's outside pressure. It's not inside the relationship. It's like outside. It's like, oh shit, now we actually have to buy a house. Oh, now we have to make sure that we have X, Y, Z. Oh, we have to start saving for our marriage. Oh, it's like outside pressure because like family now start asking us those questions a lot. Like, oh, where are you guys going to live? Oh, you stay in Cape Town, but you say you want to go work abroad. Oh, where's your base going to be? When you guys want to have a baby and whatever. So like all these things, they start putting a lot of pressure in you. So, but yeah, I mean, with everything in life, you just deal with, and yeah,
Um, all right, yeah, guys. So this is the I'm just coming in to chime in that I asked you guys for 2 hours of your time. Which what the fuck is happening here? Hi guys. Sorry, there's something happened here with the internet. Can you hear me now?
yeah,
Yeah, something happened here. I don't know what the fuck happened. But yeah, I was saying that I asked for 2 hours of you guys' time, and we've hit the 2 hour mark. But we going on the roll. So if possible, if you guys do not have anything urgent to go, we'll just roll for like 20 more minutes, just like finishing stuff up, talking about whatever else we want to talk. And after the 20 minutes, then we just wrap it up, and yeah, we get going. What you guys think?
yeah. So
Oh, someone needs to go to dinner.
yeah, for me, Shelton, that won't work. I have to leave
Yeah,
now.
you have to go.
Fortunately. Uh, but yeah, I was telling Scott that it was very nice meeting him. And yeah, really, really thoughtful guy, and really like his project. And I'm keen to see what he has, going on. And Hugo already know you, so we actually were chatting last night.
Yeah.
Really nice speaking to you as always. Like your insights are very, very interesting, and again, like Shelton said, you're just being very, very humble. You're really smart, you know, and yeah, you just someone that just gets shit done. You know, I
Yeah,
really
very much.
appreciate that a lot. And like
Thank
when
you,
I
man.
remember when you started like Zumbuza, I was like, damn, you know, like that was really inspirational to me. Like I was like, this guy is on another level. I always wanted to be like you, like have that attitude of just thinking about something and just doing it, you know, and actually getting like you built a fucking dope brand, you know.
True.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah,
I built
man.
it for
So
him, but it's okay. It's okay. Let him
Hey,
take the credit.
Sheldon was, bro, like, so much help. You know, bro, like the DNA of loser is like the concept. Shelton had a lot of involvement in that too. You know, bro,
yeah,
like the DNA of Zumbuza is like a lot of Shelton's concepts. But yo,
Nah,
I
I
appreciate.
was joking, man. It's you, man. Come on, that's your shit, man. Come on, man.
yeah. And Shelton, I'll say this again. You left a legacy here in Cape Town. You know,
Yeah,
whenever we speak about someone smart, your
Shelton.
name is the first one to always come up.
hey, man.
And I'm being honest, and it usually comes out from me. I'm like, yo, Shelton, that guy, yo, man, like
Appreciate you, man.
you're a legend. So,
Appreciate you,
I
man.
mean, I think like yeah, just I don't know, man. You going through your own journey, you know, but whatever you do, just really understand that you have what it takes to be successful. You just really need to focus on that and just try to like provide value to people.
Man,
That's all. That's what successful people do. You know, they just have something, a product that has value, and they just focus on that. They perfect that, and yeah, then the product scales, and they get rich or famous or whatever that is.
appreciate you,
So
man.
I think you have what it takes. You have the brain. All you need is understanding how that is, and probably that's part of like getting to know yourself. Getting to like understand what is the thing that you care about and focus on that. And yeah, man, you'll be good.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, man. All your contributions and all that. As I said, the first time that I thought of having this, first this podcast was supposed to be a one-on-one thing, and I was like, bro, I want to have Hugo, Marcelo, and Scott. You guys, three names always pop into my head because I really value the relationship that I have with the three of you a lot. And whenever I talk to you guys, I'm always learning and dope insights and all that. I really value the relationship, the three of us that I have with the three of you, and I just had a deja vu. But yeah, and I'm very grateful for you guys for giving the time and energy to do this in the very first try because is I'm just starting out as the first episode, and you guys are like, yeah, dope, we do it with you, and I appreciate you. And yeah, if you have anything that you want to share, last words you want to share with the audience, or any project that you're working on that you want people to be aware of the project, this is the moment for you to like drop Instagram or links or whatnot if you want people to be aware of anything that you're doing. Yeah, this is your space to do that.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, from my side as well, I just want to say thank you guys for having me. Yeah, I said it before. You guys are fucking smart, and I love working and talking to smart people. I am not worried about anyone in this chat that is not going to do it. So just trust the process. You guys know what you're doing. Whenever you get into some kind of crypto related kind of thing, I always have your back. I always can give you my little grain of salt. And yeah, it was a pleasure being here. And I hope we can do this shit again, huh?
All right, fine.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
All right.
it was really, really
Let's wrap.
all of you. And yeah, just thank you for all participating. I learned a lot. Marcelo, I've been knowing him for years, and Shelton as well. So they know how I respect and how I feel about them. And I wish that we can all like stay in contact. And let's update each other on like each other's journeys. You know, like man, Marcelo, Shelton, Scott. Like if you guys ever have interest in learning about the stock market or anything else that I have going on, just like feel free to let me know. You know, anything, just anything. Like like Marcelo got back to like we got back to talking yesterday. I mean, that should be a thing. Like if you need if you have doubts of anything that you don't know that you think I might know, and vice versa, just drop a text. Scott Ozell, I gave you my Instagram. Let's keep in contact and
Sure
add
thing.
value to each other.
Name of the game, adding value.
Okay, bro.
Yeah, guys.
Thanks, bro.
Very much, and
Enjoy.
see you around. No?
Yeah, man.
Cool.
We see each other, and thank you again, man. Thank you again for doing this. I appreciate it.
With pleasure.
And
Thank
yeah,
you for hosting us.
we keep in touch, man.
Cool.
What Jess?
What?
Oh, I thought you had something. I thought you had something. Sorry. But yeah,
You said thanks for hosting.
Okay, boys. See
we'll
you.
see you.
Take care.
Bye bye.